Business as usual, another cartoon by Unni. I really appreciate these cartoons that are coming. Let's just show this one to the viewers as well. It says, it's got a picture of Arvind Kejriwal with a placard that says support ordinance stir. And the caption says, you finally admit, Kejriwal ji, that the whole opposition shares the same fate line. And fate line, there's a little, there's a little Congress hand that's been drawn. Take a look at that by Unni. Support ordinance stir is the placard that Kejriwal is holding, and you've got somebody asking, and they're asking, you finally admit, Kejriwal ji, that the whole opposition shares the same fate line, and it's got the Congress's hand right behind there. But on the front page, again, just to show the viewers, truck full of people that are being loaded up. Take a look at this. This, as Cyclone Biparjoy approaches Gujarat, some 12,000 people that are expected to be evacuated from Gujarat and Kutch. Yesterday, we saw the Prime Minister holding that crucial meet that, again, the Congress aimed later on as well. But the Prime Minister was taking stock of situation, the preparedness when it comes to the Cyclone Biparjoy making landfall. It's expected to make landfall by the 14th or 15th. People are being evacuated from Kutch's district's Jhakau village is where this image that I showed you from ahead of Cyclone Biparjoy's landfall. Now, the Prime Minister is holding meet. Do you think Gujarat is prepared for Cyclone Biparjoy, Varghese?
Well, it looks like that because the NDRF as well as SDRF teams, several of them have been deployed on the coastal side as well. And the Hindu, of course, has its article saying that over 7,000 people from vulnerable areas have been shifted to temporary shelters. State and central authorities have deployed 21 teams of NDRF and 13 teams of SDRF in coastal districts. Railways have also cancelled their trains, and as of now, the path looks like it's heading towards Saurashtra, is what we understand. But again, we don't know until they keep tracking it, and it could change also as well in the last minute. But army has also been deployed, Kabir. The state and central authorities have deployed 21 teams for, as I mentioned, of SDRF, as well as the army has been deployed. The centre said an adequate number of teams and assets of the army, Navy, Air Force and Coast Guard are being deployed for preparations, rescue and restoration efforts. In addition, 15 teams, 5 each from Arakonam, Tamil Nadu, have also been in fact deployed. 441 villages along the coast in a 10-kilometer range in 8 coastal districts are likely to be affected. This is the initial.
So essentially, the matter is serious.
The matter is very serious. They are taking it very serious.
They're saying it's the second biggest cyclone, second largest cyclone from the Arabian Sea.
They are not leaving anything to chance.
Take a look at these visuals. You're from Kerala. I mean, you're more closer to the water than I would ever be. Do you think? I mean, this looks little notorious. It looks dangerous. I mean, the way the sea and the ocean behaves at this point.
Well, the sea is rough, and already 3 to 4 days back itself, the fishermen have been warned, especially on the Arabian Sea coast, not to venture into the sea because the sea is very rough and the waves have been high. So the storm is pretty much very tough as such.
Look at the gusts, the wind speed. They're saying they're expecting some wind speed, cyclonic storm with maximum sustained wind speed of 125 to 135 kilometers per hour, gusting to up to 145 kilometers per hour as per the IMD data.
Also, it's saying that wind speed may reach up to 190 kmph at sea. So
190 kmph at sea.
Yeah.
Wow.
So before it makes landfall. So the wind is going to be quite a problem when it comes to this cyclone, and the wind systems are all up and going right now. So according to the IMD Director General Mrityunjay Mohapatra, the Met Department has issued an orange alert for June 14th and a red alert for June 15th for all districts. So
a red alert
yellow to orange to red. So Biparjoy is...
And the problems have already begun, Varghese. Take a look at this. A peepal tree fell on, let me read it from the start. In Rajkot, Varsha Bavalia, a resident of Chasia village, was killed, and husband Bhavesh was seriously injured after a tree fell on them while they were heading to Bhadla village on a motorbike. A peepal tree fell on them due to gusty winds. The injured were rushed to the civil hospital in Rajkot, where the woman was declared brought dead. So calamities and fatal calamities at that have already begun.
Well, I hope the preparations have been done. As you can see, so many teams have been deployed. The Coast Guard, Air Force, as well as Army assets have also been deployed to meet with any kind of an emergency. So let's pray for.
Again, a huge test for the infrastructure.
It's going to be a huge test for the infrastructure. So let us pray for the people who are going to, brace for the impact of this cyclone. And well, it's the weather. We can't stop Mother Nature. Rather than being prepared for it, already a lot of evacuations have happened, and it looks like the government is ready and is waiting for the landfall to happen so that whatever further is required can be carried out.
So thousands being evacuated across Gujarat. Ports have been shut. You could see those. That's the Chief Minister of Gujarat taking a meeting, a review meeting also. He must also be worried, taking preparedness, and stock of situation, what's really happening in Gujarat. Last time around, the previous deluge of sorts in Gujarat really, threw life out of gear. And this is going to be a test for the Chief Minister here.
It's going to be a test for the Chief Minister, and also just ahead of the elections, you have a situation. So, elections in the sense for 2024, and it is the home state of the Prime Minister. So, I think no stone will be left unturned to ensure that whatever kind of help is required on the ground, whatever kind of monitoring is required on the ground, everything is being carried out. And I think the state's bureaucracy is also is on their toes for this cyclone, and everybody is hoping that they will be able to weather the storm.
Well, we have also, this coming from the authorities, we have also shifted 138 pregnant women to nearby hospitals and community health centers as a precautionary measure, and around 20 of them have had safe deliveries so far as well. So that's a real good
news coming in
from something clutch coming in, something in Kutch coming in clutch.
Also, there is an interesting thing on Biparjoy that the Hindustan Times has put. It says that Cyclone Biparjoy intensified much faster than usual. Just how powerful is extremely severe Cyclone Biparjoy? Well, no Arabian Sea cyclone since 1982, when satellite data started being used, has sustained at this strength for as long as Biparjoy has, 114 hours or 6 days, and it may break more records. The cyclone has been seen in two stages of acceleration between June 6th and 7th, and saw its wind speed increase from 55 kmph to 139 kmph, and another between June 9th and June 10th, when its speed increased from 120 kmph to 195 kmph. So this is a super storm. Let's make no thing about it. It's a super storm.
And it's going to face a super battle because it's the home turf of the Home Minister and the Prime Minister. So they're not going to leave any stone unturned when it comes to supporting the people of Gujarat. Already it says we have identified some 16,000 people who live in vulnerable areas up to 10 kilometers inland, and we shall start evacuating them from today onwards. This coming from the officials. So it seems like preparedness, NDRF, SDRF, nobody is going to take this lightly at all.
Yeah, because it is a super storm, and as I was reading those statistics, it's actually a little scary. But the fact remains is that everybody is now waiting for it. They have done the precautions that are supposed to have been carried out. There are teams on the ground to help if there is any eventuality and emergency. Now we have to just wait, and of course, from on 15th they are. 13th is today. Well, tomorrow they say it will be an orange alert that they will be issuing. On 15th it could be a red alert that they are issuing. So let's wait and see what is going to be the situation right now, and they are closely monitoring, and the sea is of course rough. And let's see how it's going to in fact be like. But just to add one more thing, the Hindustan Times has also spoken about the monsoon. India still mostly dry is what the SkyMet has said. Extended range forecast by both Indian Meteorological Department and private forecaster SkyMet Weather has indicated that monsoon rains may be patchy in the Indian hinterland till the first week of July. So your monsoons are probably going to be not the way it's supposed to have been.
But that they had said already before, that the monsoon is going to take, it's going to be slow in its
It's
progression.
going to be slow, but I think it is getting more slow. So that's with regard to the weather.
That and that will affect the crop, wouldn't it?
The crops will be affected this year because of, we had the El Nino effect, and it does come up with bad rains and or less than normal rains, and it does have an issue with crops. So agricultural output, yes, it could be affected.
That death toll that we were talking about, the Times of India is reporting that ahead of Biparjoy, 3 people have died as high winds and rain hit Saurashtra. Over 12,000 to be evacuated in Kutch and Dwarka. Fishermen at Mandvi in Kutch district anchored their boats at a safe place on Monday ahead of Cyclone Biparjoy's landfall later this week. The Prime Minister has said that ensure people are shifted to safety. Lakhs of people in coastal Saurashtra and Kutch were staring at a grim week ahead as Cyclone Biparjoy barreled towards Gujarat, packing devastating winds and downpours with landfalls expected near the fishing port of Jakau on the 15th of June. 3 people, including 2 kids, died as the region began to feel the effects of the impending cyclone with fierce winds uprooting trees. 2 cousins, a 4-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl, died after a wall collapsed on them in Bhuj town while a woman who was riding pillion with her husband that we spoke about just a short while ago. So 3 deaths already. Let's just hope and pray that it's not as calamitous as it looks, because take a look at those visuals, Varghese. I mean, that sea, the roughness of it is certainly scaring me.
Yes, it is. And it's, of course, Mother Nature. We won't be able to mitigate whenever she's in a huge fury.